And this brought me to where I begin to give kudos to former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. Under his state was supposed to be one of the most porous states because he has boundary with over 11 states across all the regions, east, west, south, north. Yet he was the most secure state. While others we are lamenting this, same Benue, Plateau, Taraba, all those others we are lamenting, Niger State, even some part of FCT here. You see that state was very secured. So you ask yourself, the security force they are collecting, what are they doing? What are they doing with it? Can't they, get the model of Yahaya Bello? Reach out to him too. Inform is, of course, some of the strategies he used are there in the public. He recruited thousands of persons into vigilantes, over 6,000 plus. Procure over 150, almost 200 vehicles, more than 500 motorbikes. Give whistleblower policy where if you see something, say something that in regards to security, you get 500,000 naira. And you saw the way the state was very secure. While all these ones, every time we'll be looking at the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or we'll be looking at the Inspector General of Police or CDS. Can they start with it? It's one too many. A situation whereby instead of facing the security situation, you end up pointing accusing figures on the political actors in the state. It means you are not in. It means you are not even in control. When you are politicizing the situation, it's unfortunate. And it calls for even the commander-in-chief to declare state of emergency in that state, to allow military to have free access to arrest the situation. What happened in River State that led to state of emergency is not even near close to this. The arrest of 14 persons maybe, yes, justice should be done because there's no way you can talk about peace without justice. So anybody that is talking about peace, return of peace without talking about justice is economical with truth and is beating some hypocrite that most of our people to indulge in. Justice for even the truck driver that was killed, justice for the Benue people. You understand? Justice for all the victims of the. How can you come to a community 20 one family will lose over 20? Come on. Where is such a thing done? Why these killings we are going on over the weekend? We saw our political elites, concentrating on 2027. Come on, how did we get this? It has to take intervention of others before we begin to react. People has to use it as a summon, as a gospel. Some activists have to walk down there to lead a protest. It's because it shows that even the state government is trying to, prevent the news from going to the media. What is his interest? He has to take extraordinary measures before such a thing begin to, become a national discourse. Honestly speaking, I am disappointed in that leadership in that state. Because everything cannot be centered and begin with Tinubu. Yes, of course, we know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu criticized Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, during his days as the president of this country, with regards to
insecurity, yes.
When the Chibok girls were kidnapped. Mm-hmm. You understand? But it's now his turn. But let's look away from doing the same thing all over and all over again. Keep complaining, being in lamentation. Let us find a proactive ways. What are the proactive ways? Let governor set up the chief security officer of the state. Leave this already structured system. Find a way, internal ways, kinetic and non-kinetic approach, using your locals. Because those areas that we attack, we are sharing boundaries with Nasrawa. Meaning that those who attack them are still within the region. It cannot be far-fetched from Benue, Nasarawa, Bauchi, those ASICs, it cannot be far-fetched. You know, and that is why when I make reference to Yahaya Bello, I make reference for a purpose, because there was a time some students in Kogi State were kidnapped and taken to nearby states. He traced them to their camp, and it happened in their camp. They have been there for years, and the state government of that state are not doing anything. He had to take permission from the governor. Let's sit for 2 weeks and rescue every one of them alive and wipe out those terrorists. This is what you call proactive leadership. You can't continue to be on TV or radio, being in lamentation, being in condemnation, sharing your prayers and thoughts with the family. No. It shouldn't be so.